Internet pornography fuels child sexual exploitation and abuse. Addiction is highly addictive, particularly in young people's minds. Have you heard that the prefrontal cortex is not fully developed until you're about 25, they say now, Jill? 25, 26 years old? Sorry, all you under 25, but you got a little ways to go. That's okay. All right? but it's not fully formed. And we know that with youth or with adults, that this content actually neurochemically alters the brain. So if you have struggled with a problem with pornography, or you know someone who has, you know that the images are not easily erased because they've been chemically embedded or imprinted in your neurochemical pathways. This is why it is such a hard addiction to break. All right, it's possible. We're going to talk about that. All right, but it's a hard one to break and it's been called by many the drug of the new millennium because it's used like any other drug to relieve anxiety, to get our mind off something. You know, it's obviously pleasurable, and okay, I'm not going to get too much into that. But anyway, all right. Pornography also fuels violence against women, and here's one other thing that guys are now finding out about: pornography-induced erectile dysfunction. So there's a whole movement of young men online who have discovered this, and they have themselves started to promote the harsh reality that this is hurting their sex life. And so there's movements towards abstinence and that kind of thing to stop using it, and to pull back. So these are just some of the harms. Now, there was a Barna report a number of years ago, 2016, and I thought this was particularly interesting. They asked teens and young adults what they thought was immoral. And just look up here on the screen a minute. 88% said stealing. I agree. 56% said not recycling. 32% viewing pornography. It is considered very, very normal, a rite of passage. I just heard a story that a young child just said everybody's doing it at 10 and 11 years old, and this is what's happening out there. So it used to be we would talk to parents and grandparents about protecting your children, protecting their young eyes from ever seeing any of this. Now we've had to change that a little bit, going, even if you do everything you can to protect them, and you need to do everything you can to protect your children, they're probably going to come across this content at some point outside of the home. Another child's going to show them on a gaming device at school. I've heard stories of bus drivers having to stop kids looking at this stuff in the back of the bus, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, because some kids got it on their smartphone. Okay, so now there's some really good resources that teach you as an adult how to talk to your kids about how to interpret what they see when they see it. That this is not God's design for sexuality. This is counterfeit. This is not healthy sexuality, and help them before they even see it so that they're prepared.